Hello there, Talking Reds fans. It's Dan here to talk about a Forest signing that's a bit of a hospital pass from the boys at Talking Reds HQ, because you may never see him play for Forest, but we'll see. His name is Luis Eduardo Soares de Silva, otherwise known as
Cuiabano. Cuiabano.
Cuiabano, apparently so. So that's how you pronounce it. Cuiabano, the left back. The left-footed left back that we so desperately wanted, and then all of a sudden we had two sign on deadline day, and Cuiabano is now on his way back to Botafogo. So, I'd give it maybe a 10% chance that we actually see him play for Forest. But in terms of his style of play and what kind of player he is, he's a very attacking fullback. He will maraud down the wing. He'll play more as a wing back than a fullback. Potentially even play as a winger at times for Botafogo. He scores high on his S-housery, which is always a good sign for Forest. But what he doesn't score high on is kind of keeping hold of the ball, playmaking, making passes and things like that. He's very much get the ball to feet, try and go round a man and get a cross in or drive into the box. So in terms of comparing him to Zinchenko, who has probably took his place in the squad, it's a totally different style of player. Zinchenko is much more obviously someone in possession that's going to help us build and keep hold of the ball and move around the pitch. So two very different styles of player. Might give you an indication on where we're heading as a team. The fact that one of them's in the squad and Cuiabano is gone off back to Brazil. I would compare him. I mean, obviously you want to compare him to Roberto Carlos, but I think he's probably a combination of a Roberto Carlos and a George Elokobi. He's quite a stocky, chunky player that can bash the opposition players out the way when he's on the ball. But I think the general feedback and his highlights suggest that his defensive ability would need a fair bit of work for fitting into our team and how solid we need to be around the box. So it's a player that would be exciting to sign, but you'd really want to test him out in cup games, and you'd probably want to give him a season to actually get up to speed before you really brought him into the team, or send him out on loan somewhere that's going to give him something different to experience and get used to the pace of the league. So even like a championship loan or something like that would have been, a top-end championship loan might have been the way to get him into this Forest team. I think the fact he's gone straight back to Botafogo, I say, makes me think there's a small chance that we ever see him play for Forest, and he might be used more for PSR purposes or other things, which is, a shame, because a left-footed, left-back Brazilian player would be, right up my street. But this particular one, I think, unfortunately, is, one for the paperwork as opposed to the pitch.